Before this video begins, I'd like to take this moment to say a couple things. I'd like to apologize for my absence. I'm currently undergoing a change in career and it is consuming much of my time. This notable shift in availability has been reflected not only on this YouTube channel, but the organization that is the 1st Colonial Regiment. Thankfully, I can count on many amazing people to keep the 1st Colonial Regiment structured and orderly in my absence. Thank you for your continued efforts, dedication, and support. Without anything further, let's begin this comprehensive breakdown of the largest player-organized events in Helldivers history. Between the dates of February 6th and 17th, Helldivers had the two largest player-organized events both in response and celebration of Helldivers 2's first year anniversary and the Cataclysm of Angel's Venture. At the time, we did not realize Angel's Venture was but one in an ongoing series of catastrophes of galactic proportions. For this reason, this video will consist of two chapters. Chapter 1, Operation Cataclysm, Phases 1 and 2, and Chapter 2, the Colonial Major Initiative. Both these mass organizations occurred simultaneously and in tandem. I've elected to highlight Operation Cataclysm as the first chapter of this video because of what it represents. Helldivers has the most ambitious community of any I have ever had the pleasure to experience. And I believe clans, organizations, and independent communities are an essential element of what makes Helldivers so special. But that's nothing to say for the Colonial Major Initiative. If you played Helldivers between the dates of February 7th and 17th, you more than likely played with a member of the 1st Colonial Regiment. The Colonial Major Initiative fulfilled over 2,362 operations, difficulties 7 through 10, something you can learn about in Chapter 2. Let's begin Chapter 1. Operation Cataclysm was truly sobering. I've personally never experienced such a large and cooperative effort from a game space. Tens of thousands came together over the course of a week to push back the Illuminate with one objective: save Angel's Venture from annihilation. Operation Cataclysm consisted of two phases, with them occurring consecutively. 36 clans participated, with the potential for many more remaining unaccounted for. I say this because Operation Cataclysm held a community spectacle on both Reddit and YouTube, attracting hundreds of thousands of views, many more than the organizers even expected or anticipated, especially in such a short time frame. Clans, communities, and organizations fought bitterly over that week, many of which you may already know. The Freedom Alliance, Helldivers 2 French, International Helldivers Coalition, Chaos Divers, the 95th Helldivers Division, otherwise known as Rod's Roughnecks, and of course the 1st Colonial Regiment. If I had to say all their names, we would be here for a long while. Whatever differences there were to be had amongst the different organizations, they were all put aside for this one amazing effort. Whether Arrowhead was aware or not of what was stirring in the depths of their game's organized diving communities did not matter. As of the night of February 6th, the determination and concentration of Helldivers' most loyal divers came to a climax, with the announcement of Operation Cataclysm Phase 1 across all relevant social media platforms. The most commonly shared objective was the completion of Illuminate-oriented operations and the destruction of monoliths, corrupt devices that spread Illuminate autocratic propaganda, poisoning the minds of once proud citizens. By the time Phase 2 was announced, February 9th, the operational center of the coalition was established in the Liberty Nexus, a popular, organized helldiving communication server in which all major participating organizations shared, with many participating clans contributing dozens and even hundreds of operations, only limited by the time between missions. Tens of thousands of monoliths were destroyed and millions of Illuminate casualties. Many participating clans kept a personal ledger of their participation and statistics, but due to the haste from which Operation Cataclysm spawned, resources were not in place to allow for effective record keeping, outside of the mathematically derived estimates that placed Illuminate casualties at 60 million and monolith targets at 20,000. Organizations awarded medals, ribbons, and commendations to their members for participation and celebration of Helldivers 2's first year anniversary. The effect Operation Cataclysm had on the organized Helldivers community was nothing short of breathtaking. But at the end, we did lose. Angel's Venture was shattered despite the efforts of 50,000 organized Helldivers. Regardless of the outcome of Angel's venture, we'd all still made Helldivers history, and that's something not even Meridia could take from any of us. For the haste in which Operation Cataclysm was established, it ran remarkably, and not to any great surprise, it was managed by some of the most thoughtful community leaders and content creators, those from the Freedom Alliance, International Helldivers Coalition, Nexus participants, the 1st Colonial Regiment, but you'd be forgiven for thinking the 1st Colonial Regiment contributed in any other regard than propaganda. That's because the major initiative was scheduled a month in advance, in anticipation of Helldivers 2's first year anniversary, February 8th. At the time, I, nor my colleagues, knew what the major order would be for that date. We only knew something was going to happen. Our objective, come hell or high water, was 1,000 operations, difficulties 7 through 10, a number that would be dwarfed in the 9 days allotted to the objective. The major initiative would be headed by an automated operation report system that sorted successful operations from failed or ineligible operations. By the end of reporting, 2,362 operations were completed with accompanying stats. The operation totals are as follows: 1,979 difficulty 10 operations, 64 difficulty 9 operations, 169 difficulty 8 operations, 150 difficulty 7 operations. This was possible because of division. Let me visualize this for you. You join a helldiving organization to drop with people you know, 4 squad mates, and they all share the same qualities and affiliations. The major initiative flipped this narrative on its head, dividing said squads by varying quantities. In an organized deployment of 100 people with filled squad rosters, you can account for 25 ships. Through division, you can easily double the ship quantity by dividing the squads by 2. You can even quadruple the ship quantity, 100 ships for 100 participants. The more ships, the greater the impact on the major order our organization will be. And we were not alone, joined by our closest friends, the 707th, which also participated in Operation Cataclysm. Many members of the 1st Colonial Regiment distinguished themselves during this period, like Nora confirming 303 operation completions, or Knight of Gondor with 66, or Fluffy Muffin with 59, and many in excess of 30 operations. 519 members participated in the major initiative, fulfilling their operation obligations. By the conclusion of the major initiative, 2,362 operations were completed, 7,896 missions. The 1st Colonial Regiment demonstrated its ability to project power beyond the ability of any other organized helldiving organization. Regardless of the outcome, I, my membership, and thousands of amazing members of this community did something worth remembering. I wouldn't have changed a single thing. Both Operation Cataclysm and the Major Initiative left an imprint on the history of Helldivers, and I wanted to do my part to recognize that. It's important that we don't get lost in the grandeur of Helldivers' past. The war is always changing and evolving. But for that brief moment in history, Helldivers and Colonials, all around the world, stood together. Operation Cataclysm and the Major Initiative were some of the most amazing experiences I have had on Helldivers outside of the game itself. I met a lot of amazing people and made a lot of meaningful friendships and relationships. I wouldn't lead the 1st Colonial Regiment or own this YouTube channel if I wasn't passionate about Helldivers and its ability to bring people together. I am thankful to have been afforded what I have experienced in this amazing game that we all share. 3 days ago was the 1st Colonial Regiment's birthday, April 12th. But that's only one in a long line to come. Consider enlisting in the 1st Colonial Regiment. The link can be found in the description below. And lastly, consider liking and subscribing. These videos always take a fair amount of effort, but this helps me determine on which formats work and which ones do not. It also helps with the algorithm, so any help is appreciated. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the battlefield.